Welcome to SGSM. Today's episode, Inside My Radio. And yes, this is the same night that I'm doing the Alice Through the Looking Glass review. So, yes, that's why I'm wearing the same clothes. I found this game on Steam for under $5. And, okay, so I was like, it's a rhythm platformer. How could it go wrong? And in fact, it didn't. I was a bit concerned because I played some bad platformers, but this was not one of them. Actually, the graphics were pretty aesthetically pleasing. It actually seemed pretty perfect, and it is great. It's colorful and bright, and the soundtrack is fucking kicking. Man, basically, the more that you move your character, the more intense the music is. And every time that you perform one of the special actions, either the dash or like the or jumping or like the ground pound thingy that you do, the music becomes more intense. And it's great. And the more that you move, because the beat becomes more intense, since you have to do everything on beat. When you jump or when you dash, you have to hit the button to do so on the beat. And there's a very small timing window, so you actually have to do it. The game starts pretty easy, and while it's not a very long game, I think that it took me hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to beat it. I mean, it was less than $5, but oh my god, the challenge ramps up appropriately, and you get used to the beats and doing everything in to the beat fairly quickly, and so that allows them to ramp up the difficulty. One of the main complaints that I had is that this game was too short. I would have loved to have 2 or 3 more levels with a couple of different characters, more platforming, more music. And one of the great things about this game is that there are these little break areas where where you get the option to change the music. You don't have to, but it lets you customize your experience so that you can play to a beat that you've created, or at least a mix that you've created. One of the notable ones is in Root. I think the character's name is Root. You get basically this giant mixing board, and you get to adjust the levels of the different tracks. There's like there's like 4 faders that you get to adjust, and then each one of those has a switch that has 2 different types of sounds, and then they've got a little gate sliders. You get to adjust the sliders, and then each of the sliders has a fader and 1 or 2 switches, which can entirely change the way that the music that you hear. And there's like another one where there's like accompaniments, and one of them is like a Daft Punk style accompaniment where it's more house music-y. There's one that's like a pop singer overlay on it, and it's great. Every time that I go through, I mix it differently because I pick something that I enjoy. There's plenty of save points when you're going through the regular game. It's never too difficult, but it's still quite challenging. And there is a there is a mode where if you die, you start back at the beginning. And so you have to play through the entire level without dying. There's also the time attack mode where, of course, it's from the beginning of the stage to the end of the stage with um, in as quick of a time as you can with as few mistakes as you can. Mistakes being trying to perform a jump or dash off beat. Because if you do, it doesn't work. And it tells you, and it's a mistake. And there are some parts, like, that you can wall jump, for example. So you jump onto a wall, and then you would jump again, and then you jump again, and you can do that indefinitely. But each jump has to be on the beat, and there are timing challenges where you have like these heat lamps that are like moving in a pattern across like this multi-tiered thing, and you have to go across between these two sets, like between these sets of heat lamps turning on and off, and go between them, and then jump, do wall jumps, and then jump, do wall jumps, all well timed. And it's the story's not all that complex. There's some spider thingy that's taken over inside the boombox, and so you get sucked into the boombox to help him out. Whatever, you know what? It's a spidery thingy. You kill the spidery thingy, and it's a cool rhythm platformer. It's cheap. It's colorful. The music's great. I highly recommend it. I give it a 4 time out of 5. Yeah. So this has been SGSM. This is Alex. And this is a short review, but the thunder behind me is pretty kicking. I actually feel the rumble in my feet right now. That's pretty close. I am going to do this before the power goes out, in all likelihood. SGSM, Alex, signing out.